everybody, and welcome to season 19 of Y'all We Read It. My name is Laura, and I am one of your hosts.
And my name is Meggie, and I'm your other host.
And we are reading Alex Astor's Lightlark series for this season, and we got thoughts, and we are ready to do it. We're ready for the season. I'm ready for the season, personally. I have so many things I need to talk about. But
I
Maggie,
am
how are you?
loving this series. I am truly going through it so fast. It is like a PJ, A Court of Thorns and Roses for me, which I've definitely talked about Sarah J. Maas on this podcast before. I love the romance genre. That's what I've learned
Yeah,
in the past 2 years. Don't want to go on any date, just want to
yeah,
read a romance.
yeah. What's wrong with that? Nothing.
Nothing
Nothing
is wrong with
whatsoever.
that. You know what's so funny? My co-star today, sorry guys, we're going on a side quest really quick. My co-star today did say that I need to start going on dates. It says you have no idea how much love is out there and that the walls I built up, I got to stop doing that because it's making me really lonely even though I'm safe.
And
So
CoStar
that's
is just free therapy when you think about it. So this actually works out really well for you.
it's just a little update in my life if you guys have to know.
I do love the thought of like CoStar said it's time for me to date again, so I'm going to consider it.
Well, it's like lately we've been doing a lot of romance books, and I think when I read them in one sitting is really when I realize I should maybe kiss a real person.
Yeah, kissing's fun. So I would buy into you doing that as someone who gets kissed regularly.
And
So,
someday, hopefully, I have that lore for you guys. But
yeah.
today is not that day. Today is fantasy world lore for Maggie and Laura, and that starts
Yes.
with the background of Lightlark. I will
Oof.
say we need to just tell you the plot at the top because
Yes. Oh
Alex
my God. Thank
Astor.
God. I was going to say the exact same thing, Maggie. We cannot describe the beginning of this book the way Alex Astor does. It'd be too much back and forth.
No, no, no. So she tries to interweave the present story alongside the backstory of
Like
this
the
book.
history of like the world, and it's a lot.
The first 30 pages are super clunky. So at the top, we're
Clumpy.
just going to give you clumpy both.
It's we got some clumps.
We're going to give you an overarching thesis, which is essentially every 100 years, this island Lightlark appears for 100 days. It hosts a deadly game, and there are 6 realms that compete in this game. They were all cursed 500 years ago. They are trying to break this curse, and if one of the realms, one of the leaders from the realm win, they get a crazy amount of power if they succeed. But one ruler of each realm must die. Just one
Just
realm.
one,
One
just
realm.
one. There's 6. One has to die. Easy, right? Makes sense. We're doing like 100-day game on Lightlark, and all of the rulers of the realms are competing. And it's not really like a competition like Hunger Games. It's more of like a very like ceremonious prophecy type ordeal that they do.
Exactly. It's more of a democracy. They kind of debate what realm is, I guess, sacrificial for
Worthless.
the future of Lightlark, and they come together in the
Yeah.
end. So that's what it's going to be like.
Yeah,
They
because the
all
also
serve a purpose.
the big caveat is that when a ruler dies, everybody in the realm dies as well. So like that's why this is not a light decision. So basically, great, the ruler dies, the curses are broken, but now everybody else is gonna die along with it. So they're like, okay, well, if there's a realm really worthy of staying, we don't wanna kill that one.
So the 6 players that we have are the Nightshade realm. They have this curse that their residents cannot be out at night, and they wield the power of shadows and the night. That's the
Yeah, they're all like kind
caveat.
of like demon adjacent.
Yes, they like wield the night, but they can't go out in the dark. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, kind of sucks.
The opposite of that is the Sunling. They can't go in the sun, but they have the power of fire, heat, warmth. They are
Cold.
lighting it up. Their sun time.
Yeah, but they can't go out in the sun. That's their curse. No, 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 not
They can't go out
allowed.
in the daytime.
Then there,
Starling is kind of a sad one. The residents only live till 25.
which like is a big deal when you realize like the ruler of Skyling, Moonling, Nightshade, and Sunling are all 500 years old. So like people in this world live centuries. So only getting to live a quarter of one very much sucks.
Yeah, they're really far behind, but their power is kind of crazy. They can like harness the energy of just shit. I imagine like they're shooting stars and sparks out of their system. They also can
Yeah.
create weaponry from just nothing, like physical matter.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool shit. Skyline, Skyling?
Skyline
Yeah.
Chili.
Don't get me started. Wow, I'd love to
Their
be a
powers,
chili
they make a
employee.
mean bowl of chili.
They make a great chili dog.
And they live in Cincinnati, Ohio.
This is the Chicago realm. They can put together a mean Chicago dog, a great Malort shot.
The realms are all just variations of places that would sell chili or hot dogs.
I wish that was their power. No, they have a suckier power. They can't fly, but
Yeah,
they
and they
used to
used
be
to
able
they
to
used to
fly.
be able to. So
Now they just move wind around.
yeah, they're yeah, well, like, and you realize this is a big deal because, like, Skyling's whole thing is like their entire city was like in the sky and built for you to be able to fly around it. So
Yeah,
I don't get into it because you find out in like the second book, like what happened when the curse happened, and it's basically just like everybody fell out
everyone
of the
fell.
sky,
Everyone fell out of the sky. It really
which
sucks.
which is like it's not funny, but it's kind of funny.
It's. Could you imagine? You're just like, well, what the fuck is happening?
I don't know why it's just like watching just like everything fall all at once is a very
It would
funny
be
image to
horrible.
me.
It's like those self-driving Ubers when you see them just kind of go on their own course. That's what I would feel like. I'd be like,
Yeah.
what is going on? And then there's Moonling, which every full moon, if the residents get too close to the sea, they're taken. Moonling power, I gotta be honest, I'm not really sure. Do they control the tides?
Yeah. Moonling power is weird. It's very like water oriented and very like ice adjacent. So
Hmm.
I was picturing it gonna be like more rocks, but it's a lot of like ice and cold and water that we're dealing with.
And then finally, we get to the protagonist of this book's realm, Wildlings, which is you kill anyone you fall in love with or you would die themselves. I said, perfect. Everyone I fall in love with kills me slowly, so I would love to be a Wildling. You also get to control nature, which,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, very, very cool. It's very, very D&D wildling coded, so it's actually really fucking cool. But
Nice.
the big pinnacle of the wildling realm is that this realm is weak at the moment. Our protagonist, Isla, she is very young. She's like 18, 19, cusp of 20. And she's been training for the Centennial her entire life. And she needs to win because it's like the last chance for the wildling realm to get saved essentially by her getting all these fucking powers at the end.
And her caretakers, Poppy and Tara, are super overprotective of her. She has essentially been locked in her room outside of training. She gets to leave for training. But most of her life, she has this star stick that she carries around, and it lets her teleport to other realms. So, what they don't know is that she has been teleporting to other realms. She has made a friend in the Starling realm. She's just all over the place. She's
Yeah.
abroad, as you would say, you
Yeah,
know.
she's got a Hannah Montana double life. Her double life is that she has been traversing her world to become more cultured, which honestly, slay Isla. That's I love that for you.
Isla in Paris, really. Netflix, pick it up.
But we really pick up right at the start of the Centennial. A portal opens in her wildling castle, and she is now sent to the island of Lightlark.
Mhm.
And a bunch of people live on the island of Lightlark, so there's different isles for all of the different realms. Except the wildling realm no longer lives there; they all live on the wildling Newland.
Mhm.
But she basically gets to go to the castle where the king of Sunlings, the king of Lightlark, lives year round. But she's led around by this little starling girl and given like a little tour of the castle. And they're like, here's all the fires we light. Here's your room. Welcome to the Centennial. So it's very formal. Lots of I don't know the word I'm looking for. Lots of protocol, I guess.
Lots of protocol, and her caretakers emphasize before she gets there, don't trust anyone, don't fall in love. Well, whoop de freaking do, because the first person that she runs into is Grimshaw, and he is the leader of Nightshade. And he's, I'm gonna be honest, he lays it on thick like immediately. He does not hide the fact that he wants to hook up, and she is like, I mean, I guess that's part of the wildling lure. I guess
Yeah,
everyone
yeah. A
can
bunch
love it
of
to me.
like Isla loves to be horny and then just be like, I'm just a wildling. That's kind of what wildlings do. And we're like, actually, hell yeah, Isla, that's awesome.
Exactly. And he is just like, I mean, we're both monsters here because people blame his realm, Nightshade, for setting the curse because their whole thing is being the harbingers of darkness.
Yeah. Part of their
They're
powers is they can spin curses, so they're allowed to curse people. So they're like, well, it makes sense that they made all the curses. So that's kind of an underlying, like, who made the curses happen type
what's a
thing.
curse that you would set on your enemy?
Ooh, oh gosh, what's a good curse to put on my enemy? I don't know. I feel like preventing them from doing something, like preventing somebody from like falling in love is always like, I feel like this is a really mean curse, you
That's a
know?
really good curse. I think it could range from low key to high key for me. Low key would be like if it was a low key enemy, they can't post about me after I die and try to get
Yeah.
attention without all of my friends blasting them. So they got to know that. I don't even know if that's a curse. That's actually something that could just happen in my
Yeah.
life.
I really feel like they probably wouldn't be posting about you after you die, but maybe if they were like obsessed with you.
And then the high key one is your parents stop talking to you if you break up with me.
Wow. I was thinking more of like utility curses, like maybe they can only get from like walking on their hands, like they're not allowed to use their feet at all. So
Oh,
that would
that
be
would be
kind of inconvenient.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
you would get so strong though. Okay, so we
Yeah.
have a range of curses that if Laura and I had power could be kind of slay. So there are a lot of leaders, like we said, because there's 6 realms. There's
Mhm.
Azul. He is the leader of the no-fly skyline.
No
God, I
fly
did it
skyline
again.
chili.
Cleo of the moonlight, see a citizens on a full moon land. Celeste of Skyling, see at 25 years old land. I mean, that's great though, because you're kicked off health insurance at your parents' health insurance at 26. If
Yeah.
life ended at 25, it's fine. It's kind of been downhill for me since.
Oh, but imagine for the survival of the realm, like you got to be popping out kids fucking early.
Oh my god, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
that teen pregnancy show, MTV show would do
Yeah,
crazy
the only
numbers
show
there.
I've heard that's on Starling Isle is 16 and Pregnant
Naked and Afraid too.
and
They're
Naked
just
and
like,
Afraid, so that way they can fall in love. Um,
yeah. And then there's Oro, and he's a big deal. He is the Sunling leader, and he's the king of Lightlark. We're
so
not really
he's
sure how. He's
yeah, no,
both.
we know, and don't worry, listeners, they never tell us. It's just a fact. So we're just gonna deal with that.
And Poppy and Tara, Isla's caretakers, before she came on, were like, I mean, don't fall in love, but if you're going to fall in love with anyone, fall in love with Oro, because when you fall in love with someone, you exchange powers, and
And she could get some cool powers.
she could
Which
steal them,
honestly,
honestly.
here's the thing. Like, yeah, that's actually a pretty good, like, hey, maybe if you're not gonna win, do this instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I feel like throughout the course of the book we'll find that like she's really mad that her like guardians have told her this, but I'm like, the more I think about it, like, yeah, be a little manipulative. You get
Your
a little
whole
something out of it.
your whole thing is being the Aphrodite of this world. Make them
Yeah.
fall in love with
Steal some
you.
shit. Make everyone fall in love with you. That should be the goal.
I would love it.
All
So
the powers.
he's a really big deal. And later that night, the first twist that we get is that, like I said, the Skyling Celeste, the leader, is friends with Isla. They
Yes.
have run into each other on one of Isla's little escapades, transporting
Star stick escapades, to be
Starstick.
clear.
There's gonna be a lot of words in this that we forget. The Starstick escapade, and they have teamed up to get through the Centennial with a plan,
Yes.
which is they are going to try to find this like thing that's going to break both their bonds.
Yes. Yeah,
Their
they're
curses.
curses. It's called the bond breaker. Again, lots of fun words that are made up in this. We'll get there. That night, as Isla is about to be like called to dinner, she's sitting on her balcony and she's also kind of like, she's the Aphrodite, she's very siren. So she's just gonna sing to herself in the ocean below her. And as she's singing, and she's like full on sitting on the balcony, so like very dangerous. But
Mhm.
when she finishes her little vocal warm-ups, her little tune, she hears a man clapping for her, and she's so startled that she just falls overboard and crashes into the water head first, essentially. We don't know how big of a drop it is, but I imagine it's at least like a story or two.
It has to be big enough that she would break her skull if she fell, but small enough that somehow during this fall she's able to identify the person who saved her, which is
Yeah.
Oro.
Maybe she like falls in slow motion. It's not explained. Um
He does save her though, and she is so confused because I'm sorry, how first of all, how was
this
Isla, able to
this
focus
is
enough to be able to figure out who is saving me?
this is iconic because she like just wakes up drenched and like from unconscious on her balcony, just like gasping for air, like and
And it's
she's
really it's really great because about 5 minutes later they have to go to a dinner for everyone and she doesn't have time to like clean herself up. She shows up wet, and Oro is like pissed that she's wet, even though he knows
Saved her?
that because he saved her. So he's like
Yeah.
mad about the circumstances that he
Yeah,
created.
he's mad that she didn't towel up, but it's like she was called to dinner so fast. What did you expect her to do?
So they're all at this dinner. Grim prompts Isla to eat a heart, and then quickly is like, disgusting. Get it out of my sight. Take it to her room. I don't want to see her eat a heart.
And then we learn, like, after Isla has very, like, valiantly, like, eaten 3 giant hearts in front of her, you know, peers, she goes to her room, she throws all of them up, and we learn that Isla doesn't actually have any wildling powers, so that's why the Centennial is so important.
In all of Poppy and Tara's training, you wouldn't think once that curbing her appetite to like
Eat a
reflect a
heart! Yeah,
wildling
train her to
diet.
eat, like, what people would expect you to eat. You'd think
Yeah, you would
that
think.
You think that Maggie and I would make such a better Poppy and Tara. We'd be like, no, don't even worry about the Centennial. Honestly, just make people fall in love with you. And you have to
Exactly.
eat hearts.
And you have to eat a heart every single day while you are
And
here.
also, don't sit on a fucking balcony you could fall off of, you idiot.
She's just clumsy. She's like somehow a more clumsy Bella Swan, but also more adept at having
I feel like
skills.
I give Isla a free pass that she's allowed to be really clumsy in this world where everybody is a million times more powerful than her
Oh
because
yeah, that's
she
fair.
really can't get out of a lot of situations.
I will say, like, as much as because the trope is always the clumsy girl and the more powerful man saves her. I will say she is very self sufficient for these books in a
Yeah,
surprising way.
she's literally self-sufficient until there's a scenario that she like literally needs a lifeline to get out of.
Exactly. So after dinner, and we learn that she has no powers, her mom, the backstory about her having no powers is that her mom fell in love with a guy, and instead of killing him, which you need to do if you're a wildling, it's either kill or be killed, she dies herself. And this put a curse on Isla, and now she's got no powers. And having powers is the only way that rulers actually like the power on their realm. And people in hers have been dying because she
So
can't
that's
do
why
that.
Wildling is dying because she's the ruler. She doesn't have any powers, and there's a big tie there. It's starting to make sense, right, listeners?
Mhm.
But that night, to mark the beginning of the Centennial, King Oro is going to read over the big 3 rules of the Centennial. The first one being there is no assassinations till day 50.
Mhm. The second is that once they start on the 50th day, that's chill. There's a ball on the 75th day, and pairs are decided on the 25th day.
Yeah, Rule 2 is basically like everybody has to participate in all the events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pairs are you can't kill your partner, I think, ever, or maybe until the 50th day mark, to be
No,
honest.
you're not allowed to kill your partner ever.
Oh, cool. That
Yeah.
rocks. Well, that's nice.
But also, we learned that days 1 through 25 of the Centennial are basically every ruler leads a demonstration that determines a winner of the demo, and whoever has the most points at the end of day 25 gets to pick the pairs. So it's very important to do that.
Yes. So the next day, Grim, our aforementioned horny nightshade ruler, he's really taken a liking to following Isla around, even
Yes.
though him, Cleo, Azul, and Oro are the 500 years old, and
Age
Isla
gap.
is 25.
Yeah, so we never really get explained that like despite people being 500, like that they look just like everybody else. That's not confirmed, but we assume that it's kind of like vampire logic that like
Yeah.
you don't age after a certain age, and also because everybody's 500, it's like normal, I guess. I don't know.
They go to this chocolate shop because he's like, has sensed that I don't think she likes eating hearts. He's like, do you want to eat some chocolate? And
She's
she's like, sure.
shoving chocolates in her mouth.
Yeah, she puts one in her mouth, and then she like is closing her eyes to enjoy the taste and feeling this forceful fingers being like, another one,
But she's
another.
kind of into it. So what? Um, we
Yeah.
also learned that right before this, I do have to mention this because it was bothering me as I took my notes. We learned that this girl attendant that's helping Isla in her room, her name is Ella, which bothers me because why are their names so similar? We also learned that Ella has a limp, and Isla gives her medicine for the limp, but we never learn if it like fixes the limp or helps it at all or not.
Yeah, there isn't. It's never explicitly said that she's cured. It just seems to
Yeah.
maybe be doing better.
Yeah, but we don't know. But Isla has to go to the tailor after she is force fed all of these chocolates. And Grim gives her actually a heads up as they're on the way to the tailor. He's like, "Hey, just so you know, my demo is first, and you're gonna need a sword for it." And she's like, "That's weird. Why is he helping me?"
So once she goes back, she tells her BFF Celeste of the Skyling Realm all about this. Celeste
Yes.
is like, you need to remember the plan. We're going to use the star stick to search all of these libraries for the bond breaker,
They're
which
not going to use
will.
the star stick for it, though. They're going to manually go to all the libraries to search for the bond breaker.
Yes. So even though she mentions it, they're not going to do this. But this bond breaker does require blood from two realms and then will break the
Yeah,
curse.
yeah. Basically, like if like Celeste and Isla prick either side, their curses will get broken, their blood will mix. It's magic.
Yes.
Who
And the
cares?
next day is the first demonstration, which takes place. Isla is ready for this actually because she has no powers. So all that she has been able to work on is her dueling skills. She can really
Yes.
wield a sword. Celeste is like,
Yes.
you gotta go easy though, because if you show off too much, we're not gonna be paired together and we can't look for this bond breaker.
Yeah, like their plan really rides on Celeste and Isla getting paired up on day 25, so that way they can find the bond breaker and escape before day 100 when people are going to start dying. So,
Mhm. Isla, though, on a whim, really surprises everyone because after Azul goes against Oro, who wins? Oro wins.
yeah.
Oro wins quite a lot of them, to be honest. Isla goes against Grim and she beats him. And then afterwards, while she is fighting Oro, they're the last match, she could easily win. She throws the match because she's like, I'm showing off too much. I want to be paired with Celeste. And Oro can sense that she threw the match and he's not
Yeah.
happy about it.
Yeah, Oro's very smart. We do get a flashback that Isla did tell Celeste that she has no powers, which in my opinion is an insane thing to tell someone even if you're aligned with them. Like Celeste could truly turn on you at any moment.
I
It's
know.
yeah, but Isla's really vulnerable because she's truly had no friends her entire life. So I think the moment she gets like an inkling of like validation that someone likes her, she's like, "Sure, I'll trust you with my secrets."
Sure, I'll tell. Yeah, she's very flippant about telling everyone that. So she does apologize to Celeste for showing off, and Celeste is like, "That's okay. I'm gonna get these gloves, which are these magic gloves made of human skin, where it can basically take the fingerprints of other people
It,
if
it
they've
takes
touched
like a
something."
little bit of power from the fingerprints of somebody you get fingerprints from, and then it helps you get through places. Again, it's magic. It's not, I don't think it's fully explained well enough for me to fully understand the concept of the gloves.
No,
Again, because she has a star stick, and couldn't she just teleport into all of the libraries? No,
no one
apparently not.
does. Everyone gathers for another little fun dinner that night. Grim makes a passing compliment of how Isla's dress fits her better than a sword fits her. Nice. But
Nice.
at this
Nailed
dinner,
it.
it turns out that it's actually Azul's demonstration time. And his
Surprise.
demonstration is people's powers. Isla has none. She is freaking out. Grim goes first. He like multiplies himself across the room, hundreds of Grim optical illusions
Yeah.
her. Cleo manipulates wine in the wine cups. Celeste causes fireworks to explode. Oro turns the table gold, which is actually, I think, a flare of his, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And Azul makes these like thunderbolt clouds. I live freaking out because she can't do any of this cool
And
shit.
didn't she like again, didn't like Poppy and Tara consider the fact that somebody might be like, "Show me your powers, little girl"? Apparently not. So what is she gonna do? She's going to get Oro to blindfold himself, and she's gonna throw a throwing star to knock off his crown.
No, I think she blindfolds herself and tosses it
Oh,
at him.
yeah,
And
that's
then
that too.
she misses him. And she's gotten away with it. I guess the crowd goes
Yeah,
wild.
I think the way like I read it is that people saw it as a strategy that she's not going to show like her full powers, but will show that like she's in tune with
Yeah.
herself. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. She's gotten away
Um
with it though.
Yep. Anyway, 5 days later, Isla's been exploring the island a lot in preparation for their big library plan. We get introduced to this character named Juniper, who like works in a tavern inside of the Agora, and his whole thing is that He's got info. He's got the dirt. He's got the tea on everything. And he will give you really any information you're looking for in exchange for secrets. So she's like, hell yeah, I need info on how to get past the Moonling Bridge to get into the Moon Isle Library.
So she
So
tells him that she let the king best her, and he tells her that she can get to the Moonling library on a night when the full moon is out,
yeah.
which I
Which
think
also,
is
like, I feel like
intuitive.
she could have really solved that riddle herself.
I agree. I think it's intuitive knowledge.
But we know that she is not astute with the moon, because she's even like, when's the next full moon? Apparently there's no calendars for this. So he's like, it'll be day 20 of the Centennial.
I think it'd be really tricky to be a moonling because I am not aware of time passing, and I would absolutely be near the sea on a full moon and not know
Yeah, no,
it.
I feel like it would just make you so nervous about just like doing anything. It's just like, well, it's like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a waxing new moon. Is that a thing? Like, is
Does
that
that
a big
impact me?
deal? What
I
about a
know.
blood moon? Is that a thing?
Oh my god, yeah, like the fancy moons. Does that make
Yeah.
it more
Yeah,
powerful?
are the fancy moons any different? But
In
that
eclipse,
night,
you're cooked.
cooked, absolutely cooked. That night is Celeste's demo, and her whole demo is for people to face their fears inside of this magic mirror. So what happens is you go up, you touch the mirror, and then you're essentially transported into a lifelike dream that you can essentially get stuck in forever, and it's basically your biggest nightmare. And your goal is to be able to get yourself out, and it's a timed event. So
People go pretty fast. Isla does it in 6 minutes, which is apparently the slowest. I feel like 6 minutes is really fast. But her biggest
yeah.
fear is being locked inside of her room all the time. And living in a New York apartment, I get it.
I don't know.
I
I just
get
feel like
it.
if you were a ruler and an entire realm was resting on your shoulders, and your biggest fear is that you have to stay in your room forever. Really, really, Isla? Your fear isn't that like the wildlings are going to be dead forever. That would probably be my biggest fear as the ruler of an entire realm at the age of 18/19 cusp of 20.
I haven't really
But
thought about it, but Isla is kind of a selfish person.
yeah, well, I think this is also like Poppy and Tara's fault that like they have not acclimated her to society at all. So like her scope of everything is completely lost because she's been trapped in a room for forever.
Oh my god, I know. But luckily, from this demo, Celeste has gotten everyone's fingerprints because they touched the mirror, so
And
she
how
was
Celeste
really out of
got
shit.
these gloves to put the fingerprints on, we never know, but she did it. So
The first library that Isla searches is the Skyling Library. Very short passage. She crosses a wooden bridge. No bond breaker. That's literally it.
no. But as she's going back into the castle, she's dressed in all of her like Skyling garb. She took a little elixir to look more Skyling. We don't know what that really means, but anyway, she's going
She's
through the
got blue hair now.
yeah, she's going through the castle, and Cleo sees her and is like, what the fuck? And starts following her. And as like Isla's trying to like casually run away from her inside the castle, she runs into Grimm, and she's like, I need your help to hide me. And he turns them invisible, no questions asked, which I thought was actually really cool.
Yeah, she literally just says, please.
And
And
he's
then
just
he
like,
knows.
yeah, he's like,
He's like,
okay.
sure.
He goes invisi mode.
So Azul and her the next day, they have a touching moment where he shows her these mountains that he moves wind through that makes a beautiful song. And he is like, I do these things since I can't fly anymore. And then later that day, she does run into Grimm again. She thanks him for covering for her and gives him a heads up about her test, which is just basically showing what each realm can bring to the future of Lightlark.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, the big picture of the Centennial again, we're trying to figure out which realm is going to be the most helpful for all the other realms. Azul reveals that the Skyling realm has been using, like, wind for transport. So, I'm imagining carrier pigeon without the pigeon.
Yeah, I was imagining like those tubes that they have that they'll send the letters
Yeah,
up.
which is also
It's
like,
just without the
Azul,
tubes.
just send an email. Send a
Yeah,
text. It'll be easier.
because they definitely have that in this realm for sure.
Cleo mentions that the entire Moonling realm is building an army of ships, which feels very foreboding.
Yeah, Isla's like, okay, are we just not going to
I
address
feel
that?
like we glossed over the whole we're building a fleet of ships really, really quickly.
Cleo says, I have ships. No one talks about it. Grimm says, I got nothing. Isla's
Yeah.
pissed because he's like, I don't give a fuck. Who cares?
Yeah. Celeste mentions that like the starlings that have like can make tools together, which fine. And Oro does like a flame thing. That's all I put in my notes. Do you have more context on that?
He can send fire throughout land, and it's like individual people hold their own fires. It seems like
Well,
he just
how
makes
is
people
that?
warm.
I was like, how is that helpful for everyone? It sounds like he can just start forest fires whenever he wants.
Dangerous and semi-productive, I guess. And yeah.
Isla's got a trick to get past this whole demonstration that she held.
Love her trick. She goes, Oro, make a firewall for me. He makes a firewall. She puts her arm in it and is just standing there cooking her arm alive. And then she pours a wildling elixir on it, and it sort of kind of heals it. But later that night, she gets to her room and she's like, fuck, it's still
So like the wildling elixir is just like fancy Neosporin because it like helps, but it does not like heal the wound immediately. Like we learned that like both Grim and Oro have the power of healing. So like Oro can use water to heal instantly, but she has a little elixir that will heal it faster than anticipated.
Exactly. And the moonlings also have healers because they use water. I
Yeah.
think she's just trying to show that wildlings aren't just destruction and not the most efficient way.
Yeah, it's kind of like why would you show like it's kind of yeah, it's like why would you show people who can just do it instantly that like it takes you
Yeah.
yeah.
So while she's in her room trying to recover from this half-assed magic act, Grim appears and is like, I only want one thing. I didn't come to play this Centennial game. I want you. And she seems to be like, why are you hiding all these secrets? And
Yeah,
he's
she's
like,
also like then like why would you come here and risk death then? This does not make sense.
and she's not going to reveal any of her secrets. He's not going to reveal his. Seems like an impasse.
He does confirm that he did not cast the curses on the realm. So he's like 500 years ago, that was not me.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't get much sleep that night, though, because in the middle of the night, she is awoken to Cleo's demonstration, which is overcoming pain to get your true heart's desire. She just was in the firewall earlier. Now she's in an ice maze.
And also, yeah, the ice maze is like also one that you have to swim through. And I was immediately like, shit, I did not plan for this. Cause like everybody else is like wearing like some sort of like outfit that would like work in really any sort of terrain. She's wearing like little booty shorts and a little nighttime tank top.
I imagine they are on those starting blocks when you dive into a pool like swimmers.
Yeah.
And before the horn goes off, she looks over at Oro and notices he has a rash, and she's like, I have a remedy for that. And then the horn goes off, and then she dives
Like,
into the water.
Isla, now is not the time to be helping diagnose people's skin concerns.
So she's pushing through hypothermia. She follows her heart to whatever scroll she has to get that I actually don't think we ever learn what it is.
No, yeah, she gets out in the nick of time and she's chilly. And she's actually
chilly.
very sick after the fact.
Her maid has to take her back to her room, and she just has this pang of freezing cold in her chest for days.
Ugh.
Celeste is like, Isla, relax. You don't have to do a Moonling library heist tonight for the bond breaker. And Isla's like, Celeste, you can't do it. Okay? I have to do everything.
Yeah, and here's the thing that's never like explained. Like, all Celeste was going to do was go to the Starling library and see if the bond breaker was there. And Isla was supposed to break into all of the other libraries that they don't have access to. It's like, why didn't you just split the work?
Split the task. I'm sure you guys can share the star stick.
Yeah, like it doesn't make sense, but
So she gets her hair ready. She gets in Moonling garb, which is silver hair, silver dresses. She is running against a thrashing sea to sneak in this castle, but it is guarded up the wazoo.
Yeah, it, unfortunately, with everyone being gone from the bridge, everybody is taking cover in the castle for the full moon that night. She immediately runs into guards and starts fighting them. They all pass out. More guards are obviously triggered because there is a commotion of guards being attacked inside the castle.
The entire time, the sea is just poking on the window, waiting to get in because it wants to kill everyone. And she goes into this sunken section of the library that is covered in water. She can't find the bond breaker there, so she has to teleport out so she can use the star stick.
So, like, again, why couldn't she just teleport? Again, like, teleport to the castle, teleport near the library. Just kind of feels like we did a lot of, like, why did she just not use the star stick to teleport across the bridge?
Not a clue, but it
Not a
does
clue.
mean that the bond breaker is going to be in the Sunling Library. So that's going to be pretty tricky because how's she going to get in there?
Yeah. So, that afternoon, the rulers are all going to this little like high tea event for the Centennial. And surprise, it's another demonstration. And Oro is leading this one. And it is a surprise truth tea that basically the tea leaves are going to outline like your darkest secret. And he basically says, whoever reveals their secret will win. And everybody panics and starts smashing these teacups inside this castle, and only leaving Oro left. And he's going to reveal that Lightlark is dying, and he is also dying.
Which means this is their last Centennial to break the curses because the island's going to be kaput pretty soon.
Yes.
He's not able to keep the island warm like he used to. And now, on top of all this, he gets to pick a partner because he's won all of the demos and he picks Isla in a curveball twist.
Shock draft pick from Oro, who got first pick at the draft.
What's so funny too is he's operating under the impression that she has powers. He picks her basically because he thinks she's going to use her wildling power to help her find this flower that holds the life and heart of Lightlark. And he's like, but by the way, you got to be calm about having your powers. Keep masking them. What you're doing is great with masking them because there's crazy creatures out there. And she's like, well, I'll worry about using my powers later.
Yeah, and with this pairing ceremony came another plot question from me, Meggie,
Mhm.
because the pairing ceremony, there's 6 rulers, they pair off into twos, but we also learned that this is Grimm's first time coming to the Centennial, so how the fuck did pairings work for the other 4?
It's like when you're in the class or you're in gym and they are like, all right, everyone pair up, and you're like the only one there and no one's picked you,
Yeah,
and
they're
you're
like,
like,
okay, everyone's gonna pair up except for the one person, and they're not supposed to kill themselves.
and it's not even like the
They get extra food at dinner to kind of compensate that they don't have as much of an advantage as everybody else.
it's like split between people are in their pairs and they either don't want you in or they feel really bad so they don't want to look at you and both feelings suck. But yeah, I guess this year is an even number of pairs, thank
Yeah,
God.
finally the pairing rule worked out in their favor.
It's gonna be Isla and Oro, Grim and Azul, and
Celeste
Celeste
and
and
Cleo.
Cleo.
Yeah.
And she's like, fine, I'll help you. She's like acting like it's such a burden to be with the most powerful person. And she says, I'll help you if I get to decide what realm besides mine is let to be chill.
Which, like, also, no, Isla, say you want to decide which realm dies because that gives you more power over who gets saved.
Yeah, and you clearly hate
Ridiculous.
Cleo. You hate the
Yeah.
meanlings.
Ridiculous. Stand your ground. So basically they make this deal at midnight, and he basically needs her plant knowledge and her wildling powers, which he does not have. And he's like, and I will protect you at all costs inside the Centennial, but we need to start looking for these plants. And what he's first gonna do is he's gonna see if he can trust her. So he takes her to this like enchanted storm part of the island and really asks her to go through a abyss hole that leads to nowhere. But it really spits them out almost into like a arboretum greenhouse type cave,
Mhm.
and it was a trust test. And he basically admits like, okay, it looks like I can trust you for now. I'm looking for Lightlark's heart, and this is going to be a little workaround for us solving the prophecy, to help save everybody, really.
Yes, she is annoyed that he is doing all of this and putting her through all these trials. So at one point she flicks his crown and then he flicks her crown back so hard it gets a dent in it, and I thought that was very
And
funny.
she's like, hey, fix that, which I thought was hilarious.
I loved that. So they search all night for this heart. They don't find it. So they've got to go to this second place and look for more flowers, which will be later on in the story. That night, she does overhear Azul saying to Oro that a realm has to die, and Oro's like super defensive about it. So she does not know who they are talking about.
Yeah.
And the next day, she brings it up. He is like, wow, okay, eavesdropping is low even for you. And she's like, why do you hate Wildling so much? Be honest. You've been cold to me this entire time. Why are you like this? And he admits that they used to be his favorite, but now they're everything that people say about them. And we're not sure why they used to be his favorite,
Yeah.
but they were.
Yeah, he also drops a bomb that Grimm is protecting a danger bigger than the Centennial, and we never get an explanation for what that possibly is either.
Could be
So
stored in a
lots of
different
just like
book.
fun, like if somebody said all that shit to me, I'd be like, "We're not looking for more plants until you answer my 100 questions, sir."
Absolutely, but I'm sure that's going to be a plot point later on.
Yep.
They're looking in this grove of flowers, and Oro says that Centennial is very important. Not important, actually, to Azul, because he lost his
Yeah,
husband
his
in this war.
husband. Yeah.
And in searching for these flowers, Isla gets entangled in this like wall of thorns that
Yeah.
keep getting tighter whenever she fights back.
Yeah, so Oro does get her out, but then she's like catapulted with needles, so they have to pull them out. Oro is helping her, so like they're kind of, be finding some more common ground.
He is really
Um,
confused though. He's like, "Isn't your power talking to plants? Why do they hate you?" And
she's like,
she's
"What?
like,
Yeah, this plant's so weird. I have no idea." Then Oro is gonna go like MIA for the next 5 days because he's like, okay, clearly the plant is not here. I need some outside help. I'm gonna go talk to like a nature creature and get some more info, like from a forest creature that will give them more answers on where they can look next. Isla, realizing that she's been so busy with Oro, has not talked to Celeste, so she gives a note to her to meet in the Agora. It is 10 days till killing is allowed inside the Centennial, so time is flying. But while Isla is waiting in the Agora for Celeste, a mysterious figure hands her a note that says, "You're in danger."
so Isla is just racing after this figure, gets down to this cove with ships nearby, and she is attacked by all these moonling nobles that she assumes that Cleo hired to assassinate her. That's never confirmed nor denied.
No, but Celeste does come and they kill all these moonlings, so like, I guess crisis averted for now.
They also leave
Um,
a message for Cleo in blood that says try harder, which rocks.
Ruled.
That was
That
awesome.
ruled. Isla goes and buys a dagger for protection because for some reason she's been walking around weaponless, which is hilarious.
And so she's fighting the air with the dagger. She's like, yeah, ha, yeah. And Grim sees her just kind of chopping at nothing. And he's like, oh, you having a good time here?
And she's like, actually, yeah, take me to the Wild Isle on the island. So she changes the subject immediately.
So,
But he's
yeah,
like,
they go
sure, let's
there.
go.
And there's this place of mirrors, which is the only place left standing on it. That's exactly what it
It's the
sounds
old
like.
Wildling Palace on the island. So it's literally just like a giant castle that the entire exterior is mirrors, which is fucking cool.
Hmm. She goes back later that night to look at it, and she finds a door with a key slot, which feels really important, but she can't get in.
And
She
she won't
uses
open it this book
too many
either.
items.
So drop that immediately, listeners.
Yeah, she does go to Juniper, the bartender who deals in secrets, and he says that only wildling powers work there after she tells him that the Moonlings tried to assassinate him. Grimm has also followed her here, because I guess in 500 years he hasn't developed a hobby, and it's raining.
I
She's
think
like,
following people is a hobby. Whether it's an appropriate hobby is left to discuss. But
yeah, I guess that's true. She's like, I want to know more about you. Show me your power. And he does. And basically, his power is just like killing everything in his path. And she's
yeah,
like,
it's just like
more.
abysmal darkness. But it's also raining outside.
Mhm.
So they're gonna go into like a building where he obviously shows her his powers, and there's a lot of tension. They and like as he's showing her his kind of like dark fortress that he can just construct out of nowhere, they almost kiss, but then they don't. So
But they don't. Boo.
oh, Maggie and I want kisses.
We want kisses. So Oro shows back up after 8 days. He's been gone. He's been on his little side
This
quest.
scene is insane, by the way.
What?
This next scene is insane, by the way. Oro comes back and he's like, okay, Isla, I've got it. I found an ancient ghost we can talk to. And they go there, and Isla finds out that Oro just offered Isla to be possessed by this ghost for a while.
Yeah, and she's like, how do I know this isn't your old lover who's gonna
He's like,
take over my
he's
body?
like, "Well, come on, please, please, please. Why just let the ghost get inside you for a little bit."
Isla's like, fine, but in exchange, I get to go to the Sun Isle Library. And at first, he's like, no. And then he has to say deal because what's he gonna do? What's he gonna
What's he
do?
gonna do? The ghost wants to go inside Isla's body because she's hot.
So the ghost takes over Hot Isla's body, and all she hears is Oro saying, "That's enough." And when they break apart, the ghost has entangled her in holding Oro's the back of his neck, his blonde hair, and she is just pressed up against him, and
They're
she's
almost kissing. I
so
would be
close.
so mad. I'd be like, "What were you doing before I broke out of this?"
I know. Yeah, seriously. Did we work backwards? Did we work from the most
Like,
extreme
did
to
we do
now we're
anything?
kissing?
I have a right
Did
to know.
did we pretty woman it? So after the ghost leaves, the ghost is not helpful. All she says is the heart isn't on Star Isle.
And there's
So
so many other aisles here. Okay, what a waste.
and she's like,
Um,
okay, bring me to the library now. And he goes, no, we're finding the heart first. And she throws a temper tantrum because
she's
she's
literally
like,
like, "Fine, then I'm not helping you anymore." Which honestly, I think fair trade. Like, you're not going to help me, I'm not going to help you.
"Mhm."
But the next morning, somebody comes and gets Isla and is like, "Let's go to the Sun Isle Library." But when she gets there, she looks around. There's no bond breaker. So she goes and thanks Oro for at least letting her try and says she'll agree to look for the plants again.
And she's convinced at this point that there's just absolutely no bond breaker. This
No,
was the last of the libraries.
doesn't exist. Fake.
It is the night of the Betwixt Ball, which is the 50th day when rulers are allowed to kill each other. And Isla is wearing this gorgeous,
Hot,
barely there outfit.
amazing,
Leaves
sexy,
constructed,
hips
body
out,
out.
tits pushed together.
And she is dancing with all these people that want to dance with her, but the politeness is really grating on her. So she goes into the hall to have a minute alone, and Grimm is like, damn, that dress looks fine on you.
Actually,
My
though, thank you,
God.
Grim, for the compliment. Grim, as they end up dancing, and Grim turns them invisible, and then they kind of
Mhm.
just go on a little like excursion together. They go to this like underground base of the castle, and they're getting real handsy with it. They don't kiss, but he does give her like a necklace that immediately turns invisible around her neck. That basically, if she touches it, it will summon him. So if she's ever like in trouble, he will be there, which is like actually kind of sweet.
Yeah, he leaves. He's like, I'll see you at midnight when is all the crazy shenanigans start. She goes to find Celeste. Celeste is like, what do you want to do? You want to leave? You want to stay and fight? And she's like, let's stay and fight. But as she says this, the earth breaks apart. Everything goes to mayhem. Shit is falling from the ceiling because Lightlark is falling apart. The island is dying.
Yeah, and so the castle is collapsing. And Isla goes to Oro, who obviously is attached to like Lightlark's life force. He's
In
dying.
so
And she's
much
like,
pain.
Oro, snap out of it. You gotta fix the problem.
So with the last ounce of his power, he stops everything before he collapses. And then that's where it ends. Like there's no concern for Oral
Yeah, she's
whatsoever.
like, she goes, "Thanks, Oro," and goes to her room and goes to bed.
So the next day they're out. They're out. They're literally out. He just almost died. They're looking through these flowers. They're gonna stage her getting captured by these blue fairy woodland creatures, basically.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'll tell you a piece of advice, but in exchange, I want her to visit me every month. I think she's really interesting.
It's like, what the fuck?
So she's like, sure, fine, I'll do it. And the head blue woodland creature, his name is R something, Regor or something.
We learned it in the next book. It's like Remlick or something.
They mention that the flower is at the place where day meets night, and they assume that this is like there were caves that were made where Nightshade and Lightlark meet. I don't really know.
What is crazy is like Oro immediately knows what this means. He's like, "Great, that means there's 8 places left for us to look." And it's like, wait, okay, sure, we're not gonna like think about it for a little bit.
And if you thought last night the castle falling apart was enough, get this. Oral's throat is like lightly but also mild to moderately slashed in this, and through this scuffle, he's having a rough go of it. They get out of the cave, Isla has to drag him and just toss him in a pond and like fix yourself.
Yeah, she tosses him into a stream, so I picture him in just like a giant puddle as water is caressing over this wound.
And she's like, use your power and fix yourself. She's like, okay, self-sufficient king, do it.
Yeah. Be self-sufficient. But the sun is also rising, so Isla has to drag him into a cave, and he's like, well, I guess I'm gonna be in here for a while because it's light outside. So they're gonna play the questions game and get to
I
know
was
each
gonna
other a little
say,
better.
2 days in a row, I have almost died. I would just want to sleep during the day, but instead,
Literally.
Isla's like, let's play 20 questions all day. So they do that. He finally asks her what her secret is. And she's like, no. And he's like, okay, how about this? I'll give you the heart. You can have all the power. I just want to know what your secret is. And she's like, no. And he's like, that it must be really bad.
Yeah. She also does try to like be like, "Hey, I've heard about this thing called the bond breaker." And he's like, "That isn't real. That's not a thing that exists."
Oh my god. Wow. But she does not listen. She
No, no,
doesn't listen
no.
to
She's like,
anyone.
"Surely my best friend Celeste knows exactly what's going on about this thing that she read about one time that I've never read about or asked her to send me the article." So,
That's so I did not even remember that. So when night falls, they go to the Moon Isle. They're gonna talk to an oracle that's frozen in ice. And this oracle lets Isla know there are liars all around her and that the heart is in fact on Moon Isle, but Cleo has
and
a shitload of guards
she also does say
everywhere.
a ruler will die. So like that's gonna happen. Um Isla at she's a little homesick after this. She uses her star stick to view the Wildling Newland, and it's not doing well. Basically, everybody's pretty much dead at this point. The trees, the nature, it's all dying. Oh, and she's like, oh, fuck. This sucks. So she realizes that she now needs to win the Centennial to save her entire realm.
And I'm not sure what the jump is from seeing the Wildling realm die, but she goes to Oro's chambers and not sure even what the lead up was. She tells him she's powerless.
And he just kind of like jaw opens because like yeah that's a secret.
For sure.
And she just walks out because she wants the power. Day 60 rolls around for the Centennial, so we're over 60% of the way done through these 100 days. It is a ruler progress meeting where everyone can just kind of like talk about their discoveries, what they're thinking, what they're feeling. Oro does reveal to everybody that him and Isla have been looking for a special relic that should adhere to the prophecy. But Oro also is like, and I'm changing the pairs to continue my search for this. Isla and Grimm, you're going to be a pair. Azul and Celeste, and I'm going to be partnered with Cleo. And also, by the way, Isla doesn't have any powers. Meeting adjourned, everybody.
Yeah, and she is enraged because what's stopping them from killing her now? She's got no power. She offers nothing. Grim vanishes them before a minute happens, and he's like, don't worry, I knew. I can sense everyone's curse but yours, and I never revealed it, so you can trust me. And I would be like, yeah, that's probably the only person I can trust.
So Isla's gonna move into the place of mirrors. Ella, with her limp, is going to bring her supplies every day, which is so nice. And just
So lovely. Isla sitting pretty in this palace of mirrors. Celeste is insisting that there is a hidden library. Isla is like, no, I want to give up on the bond breaker. It doesn't exist. She tells Celeste that she is going to bring a note to Juniper. Equal exchange of her greatest secret for Juniper's greatest secret, who mentions in his note back to her, he knows who cast the curses. But when he gets to the top, he is dead, and written over his body in blood is hard enough, which, like, okay, Cleo, come to play.
yeesh. So Isla's gonna go running to clear her head. There's blood on her hands basically now. When she is out running, she's going to see Cleo, who Cleo does not see Isla, and she decides to follow Cleo because she's like, I think Cleo spun these curses. But then Cleo turns around and is like, Isla, why the fuck are you following me? And then starts to slowly freeze her like over the course of hours, which is badass. But Isla's like, fuck, I can't reach my necklace. I'm too busy being frozen.
Yeah, and it is nighttime, so Grim can't even get to her until the morning when he can be outside. Someone does start breaking her out. It seems like it's assassins, and then the assassins just go quiet, and she is being flown through the air.
Yeah, yeah. These people are saying that they plan to eat her, but good news is Oro's to the rescue. He's flying her through the airs, and he's now like, I know you're mad. I know you're mad at me, but I'm not trying to betray you. And he's like, Cleo just wants to kill Celeste. Is that so bad?
He is like, listen, I had to gain Cleo's trust and I needed your reaction to be as genuine as possible because the last thing that the heart of Lightlark is in this Moon Isle place
Yeah.
on her island that he won't get to unless she helps him out. So now he knows where it is. It's great. Him and Isla can go back to working together.
Yeah, he also reveals, he's like, Isla, my flair is I can tell when people are lying. I know you've been lying to me a lot lately, but I'm really hoping now we can just be honest with each other. And so Isla's like, oh, I have been lying a lot lately. Okay, fine. I will help you.
She's like, you know what? Shooters shoot, players got to
Here's your
play.
shoot.
You are
Here's your
not wrong. And
no.
since the offer still stands that she's going to get all the power, she's like, I can't really say no to him. He also says he wouldn't have let Cleo kill her after revealing her secret, which bold, but
Bull.
okay.
Like, also, like, how?
I don't
How you
know.
weren't there when she was being frozen? Like,
And if you thought the ball on the 50th day was a riot, get ready for the 75th day ball. It
we
is
are three
called
quarters of the way through the Centennial.
It's the
Yeesh.
caramel ball, which is to indicate, yeah, exactly what Laura said. They're a third of the way through. Isla's like, you know what? If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna try alcohol for the first time.
Which, like, not the time when people are allowed to kill you. Try it between day 1 and 25 before, like, killing is allowed. But
And she
okay.
does a thing that I've never seen a drunk person do in their life. She just starts taking off all her clothes and leaving.
I imagine this is like fancy alcohol, so it does more than like human alcohol. But anyway, Oro, who sees like Isla just flaunting it around the
Wasted.
castle,
Yeah.
wasted, he takes her back to her room. They end up falling asleep. But then they wake up like a couple hours later, and Oro's like, well, I'm going back to the party. So like they don't even do anything.
No, she just falls asleep with her head in his lap.
Yeah, boring.
PG.
But before Isla can get up and go back to the party, Ella, who we know is a little baby starling, is going to knock on her door, and she's like, hey, just so you know, Celeste, the ruler of the starlings, has been attacked. And what do they find is Celeste is wrapped in this like enchanted web and frozen in time, and whoever was trying to kill her did not finish the job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeesh.
Yeah, so Grim shows up. She has Grim just disappear the body away until
Cool.
Celeste can wake up. And she's determined. She's like, I'm 100% going to kill Cleo now. I gotta find this heart. So they go to this like abandoned sunken mansion on the Moon Isle. And to get in, you gotta swim down, down, down. They gotta take off all their clothes. Her and Oro gotta take off quite a lot of layers.
Ooh.
She is looking at his body. He's like, have you never seen a body before? Very funny response. And at some point, too, he drops, like, I've been with many women.
Which is like, okay, creep. That's weird. But
And then she's also taking off her clothes and she spits it right back at him because he's kind of gulping. He's going, boing.
yeah, he's going awooga.
She's like, what? You've never seen a body before? Okay.
But they're gonna go swim down, and Oro says multiple times as they are getting ready to go down there, be careful, there are lots of creatures down there that will attack you. And what happens is Isla is going through these different rooms in this underground palace, is that a like mermaid creature looks so friendly and is like, hey, Isla, follow me. So Isla's completely mesmerized and goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And then this mermaid basically attacks her.
Yeah, so she's got to stab this mermaid through the eye with this dagger that she has between her chest. I don't know how it would not slip out. Oh, it's
She's
like in
got
her bra.
huge boobs, so it works.
Huge tits, and it's between her huge boobs. And she swims up to the surface. She is choking on water. Oro's like, this isn't the flower place. Really just bypasses it.
Like Oro's been there for like hours being like, oh, you're back. This isn't what we're looking for.
And the bad news is that means the other place the heart could be is in the Vinderland territory. The people who tried to kill her, they are former wildlings who renounced their power but still eat people. So they're
Oof.
essentially cannibals.
Yep. So that's fun that they get to go back there. So that's where they're going the following night. They immediately get into a fight, but they surpass this group of people that attacks them. And as they're going further, they start to see this like cool plant that's basically like giant white feathers that are extending and protruding through ice.
Yeah.
And they go in and they're like, this is gotta be it. This looks like a little like nest for this heart. There's nothing inside. It's not
You would
anything.
think it is because at this point we're on page 337. The book ends at 409. You think you're going to find the heart? You're not going to find the heart. There's going to be
Yeah.
so much more plot
And there's only
in this.
20 days left in the Centennial. How are we going to do it all?
No, there's 12 days remain, I thought.
Oh, no. On my notes, it says final 20.
Hey,
Maybe I wrote it
not a
down
lot
wrong.
of,
So
not a lot.
it's somewhere between the final 10 and 20 days.
So there's very few days. She's like, we should start completely over. Where did you learn about this heart? And he said, in a book. So they're going to go to his secret library that he finally trusts her enough to bring her to, and they start reading. He does tell her that, listen, you said Grimm is the most forthcoming leader. That's so funny because actually Lightlark was founded and created by Sunling and Nightshade, sure, and also Wildlings helped create Lightlark. He didn't tell you that, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, but it's like also like, what do you mean, Oro? You didn't tell me that till right now when you're trying to prove a point.
Yeah, I feel like he's like selective about what he reveals, but that's why he
Yeah.
teamed up with her initially because only their powers combined could find the heart. So she goes to talk to a comatose Celeste, tell her the hidden library is real, and she notices Celeste's fist is curled up, and in her fist is a ring that Isla originally gave Azul, which means that Azul attacked Celeste, which
Big
shocker.
twist, huge twist. So Isla doesn't know what she's gonna do. She's gonna go to the place of mirrors. She summons Grimm there, and she demands that he just tell her everything that he's hiding. And he's like, the biggest thing I'm hiding is that you absolutely wreck me, Isla. I'm fucking obsessed with you. And they start hooking up.
He says he aches for her all the time. They start kissing. I mean, like, really kissing. Like, I don't know how this is a YA book kissing.
It's
And
not.
he starts fingering her, and she's like right in his hand.
Yeah. Yeah. So they take off all of their clothes and are basically just gonna hook up for hours. And like, awesome.
Wait, but
Hell yeah.
they don't fuck though.
They don't
She's like,
fuck. They're just doing stuff.
she like wants it, but then admittedly at the start of the next chapter, she's like, I'm really happy that he just held me for hours. So maybe he
Yeah.
was just like getting arthritis, going crazy on that
Nah,
shit.
demons don't get arthritis. They spend
Yeah.
days in the in Oro's secret library, really just like trying to figure out what to do next. And then finally they start to think about what if it's when the dark meets light. So it's less of a place and more of a time. And
Isla
then this
also thinks this bird on the Moon Isle is trying to lead her to it. So she's like, let's go back and the bird can squawk at me.
Yep. So they follow the blue bird on Moonling Isle and they make a camp to where they are sure that the dark meets the light. Oro's not doing great because, as we know, Lightlark is failing. So she's going to sing for him, little lullaby to her little baby. And that helps him for some reason. So,
He's distracted. So after these pain pangs kind of pass, she follows the bird to this nest that is holding what they thought would be a flower. Turns out it's an egg of life. The yolk is powerful.
ew.
And Oro's like, oh shit, sun is coming up. I'm gonna just watch from afar and you have your moment taking all the powers. And she's like, yay. So she's holding this egg and she is absorbing the power. She's feeling herself be emboldened as a arrow goes right through her heart. The
And we
Vinderland
don't
people are back. They're ready for some vengeance.
Yeah, but she does get Grim to come get her in her final moments, and she's going to wake up in her bed, and Grim is there, and he was very worried about her. He also lets her know that Celeste is awake, so she immediately goes and reunites with her best friend, and she's going to apologize that she's been kind of a selfish friend.
She runs back to her room. Oro is lightly burned. I would say like he's like on the 2 setting of a toaster.
For sure.
And I thought that was really good.
No, I like it.
He started flying once the sun was like medium down because he was so concerned about her getting a arrow through her chest. She meets him in the library. They have to decide next step is what realm is going to die, and he's like, it's got to be Nightshade. I'm sorry, you have the powers now that would protect us. Like I said previously, we don't know what from. We got to kill Grimm. We gotta kill Grim.
Yeah, and Isla's immediately not down. She starts arguing because Isla's whole thing, she doesn't want anyone to die. And as she's like talking, she's realizing like it's really Grim or Celeste is the choice that he's making me make. But this is why she should have asked for the power to choose which realm dies, because she could have just picked Cleo. She could have just picked
Exactly.
Cleo.
She's holding a knife to his throat. He's like, do it, I dare you. And she just flees. Her idea is she got bond breaker or bust. Her last ditch effort is to free Grim as well. She runs. She's like, I have a way of protecting your realm. And he's like, me? I'm so touched. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So she asks Celeste to trust her, split the bond breaker 3 ways. She gets Grim. She's going to convince Grim to help her save Wildling, and then all 3 of them will say, Vegas or bust and get the fuck out of there. So she writes a letter to Oro explaining her plan, which I'm like, why would you explain this to him? You're mad at him. I digress. But she summons Grim and he's like, I'm in. Let's go to Wild Isle. But before they can meet Celeste in the palace, because Celeste has been off getting the bond breaker, which suddenly they know exactly where it is, he confesses that her dreams where they have been like hooking up, hanging out, vibing, those dreams are actually memories that he took away prior to the Centennial. And they've known each other for the past couple of years.
She's like, what on earth do you mean?
He's
And
like,
he's like,
yeah.
I mean, we've been hitting it raw for a
Yeah,
few
like we've been
years.
raw dogging for a while now, girl. And he also says, you're
Get tested.
Starstick. You're a Starstick. That's from Nightshade. Like, it's a Nightshade relic. And Isla can't process this information. She is
No.
panicking. She just runs. She bolts for the palace because she knows Grimm's powers won't work in the palace. And for some reason, she's like, I can't trust him now.
She can feel her wildling powers come into play because on this wildling isle, everyone's powers are muted but hers. And she's like, great, that's perfect. He's chasing her. She gets to Celeste. She's like, let's do it. Let's break these bonds. Grim is like, holy shit, wait, don't do that, because he sees the bond breaker. He knows what it is. And Isla's like, no. So she pricks her finger and Celeste turns a switch. She is evil as hell. She is so excited because she got what she wants. She's like, you fucking idiot. This isn't a bond breaker. I'm not your friend.
Yeah, so we learned that the liar the Oracle was talking about was been Celeste all along. Oro is also now in the place of mirrors. He came after reading the letter and tried to help. But what Celeste and Isla have pricked is the bond maker, which is essentially a transfer of power. And we learn that Isla is a wildling and a nightshade, and she does have powers because of that, but they essentially are canceling each other out because she was never trained to use either of them. So now Celeste has Nightshade, Wildling, and Starling powers, and we're getting into the manifesto. Celeste isn't Celeste at all.
No, and she actually somehow has powers of all 6 realms. I'm not really sure how, but
She's been around for a while.
She now has gotten all of the power of the 6 realms, which must mean that Isla had all of the powers. And Celeste drops another truth bomb. She's like, oh God, it was so great. Like, we all knew Grim was in love with you, so I was gonna get the Nightshade power. But also, bravo on getting Oro to fall in love with you, because now I got these Sunling powers too. And Isla, this is news to her. She's like, what do you mean he's in love with me? What are we talking about right
Yeah.
now?
And we learned that Grim knew it was Aurora because he can like sense like the color aura of people's feelings and was like, you're this bitch Aurora from forever ago who was actually evil. But Aurora convinced Grim to help her because she manipulated him into believing the prophecy meant that Isla had to fall in love with Oro, which is why he made her forget about him, is so she could help break the curses for everybody. So he was lied to as well.
And I think that some of his incentive in doing this was that Aura was going to help him completely eliminate the Sunling ancestry. It seems like he was doing this because he got to eliminate Oro's ancestry, which I
Yeah, but
felt
it's like
kind of
Oro's
bad
been
about.
trying to eliminate Nightshade too, so I'm like, this is a tit for tat situation. But also biggest issue for me here. Oro can spot liars. That is his flair. How the fuck didn't he know that Celeste was lying the whole time about who she was?
I don't know. I
No,
have
never
no idea.
explained. And then Isla tries to stab Aurora with the knife that they got in the Agora market, but that knife is actually fake. So that's a whole reveal. Aurora somehow planted a fake knife that she knew she was going to pick. So going from bad to worse real quick.
It really is. Isla has a plan though. She has brought the Star Stick Nightshade stick, so many sticks, to teleport home to get a shitload of knives to fight with. While she is there, she pieces together that Poppy and Tara, her old caretakers, knew she had power and killed her parents so that power could be transferred to Isla. And Isla is like, by the way, once I'm done with this shit, I'm banishing you guys because fuck that.
Yeah. So Ally goes back with her swords and immediately starts fighting Aurora. Since Isla's heart is marked with the heart of Lightlark, she's able to get it to come to her and basically give her a boost, a little energy boost.
Mm-hmm.
And she's able to somehow stab Celeste with the bond maker, so she gets all of Celeste's powers as Celeste / Aurora dies, and thus breaking all of the curses, fulfilling the prophecy by killing a ruler.
Yes, because also a caveat to this curse was not only is it just kill a ruler, it's you gotta kill a best friend. Because in weaving these curses, when Aurora originally made them, she killed her best friend, who was a wildling, because her best friend cheated with Aurora's husband to be, which was
Yeah.
Aurora's brother. I'm sorry, it's so much. But
It's so
basically,
much.
you just have to kill a best friend, and Celeste was Isla's best friend.
Yeah. And the reason Isla was able to get a clean hit in there was because Oro was able to tap into Isla's powers and use them to hold Celeste / Aurora off because they're in love.
Yep. So as the earth is pulling apart, tumbling, Aurora tumbles into this hole. Isla tumbles into this hole. Starstick might tumble into this hole. Some random object,
Lots of whole
quad breaker.
action.
She is Grim tries to access her wildling powers so he can send like a vine after her and tap around. He can't do it. Oro's the one that can access it, which means that Isla is in love with Oro, not Grim. She doesn't trust him anymore. Grim realizes this and he just vanishes. He's like, fuck it, I'm
Yeah.
over. But he does mention before he goes that she will return to him. So she will return to him.
Okay, is that a threat?
I guess so.
So, Grim's gone. Isla is dead inside because really she just kind of feels used by everybody, and she
Mhm.
was, in various ways, mostly by Celeste and Aurora, but also by Grim in a way.
Mhm.
So she kind of spends days just in bed, being like, "Jesus Christ, what the fuck happened?" Which valid.
Yeah.
And we also learned that Moon Isle has fully separated from Lightlark now. They're acting really suspicious and weird. But she kind of has like, okay, there's lots of powers inside me, and Grim's back in Nightshade. What the fuck am I doing? And the book's gonna end with Oro finding her on the balcony that she fell off of in the beginning of the book, and she's like, you know what? I am in love with Oro, and she's also the ruler of Starling now. So,
She got two realms.
yeah,
She didn't rule one good enough, so now she's got another one to rule
exactly.
badly
Oh,
as
this
well.
crazy girl. What will she get into next?
I don't know. Hopefully, her and Oro kiss because I think Grim has a +1 on him with the finger banging.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for our top 6, and I'm sure these episodes are going to be long because, as you guys know, this is a very plot heavy book.
Rich book.
So just bear with us. But we are still going to do the top 5s, which we are changing into top 6. This is going to be a definitive ranking of the realms for Laura and I, and which ones are our favorites.
Yes.
And least favorites.
Yes. So I think we'll start with coming in hot in our last place. We're going to put Skyling. Out of all the realms, their powers seem like the most boring. It's like, okay, you can fly, you can make it windy. I'm not in. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's other things I would pick.
I don't really care that much about flying. And
Yeah.
the 5th one that we're coming in with is Moonling, just because I'm, gotta be honest, I'm not sure what their power is. I feel like it's controlling the tide, but I'm not positive.
Lame. Number 4, we're going to put Sunling, even though they're kind of regarded as like the most powerful. Meggie and I do not like to run hot, which it's described that like they do.
We're
They're always
Midwestern.
a temperate temperature. Meggie and I love the seasons. We are not that, so we're gonna put them there.
Number 3, Wildling, dead in the middle for us. I think Wildling rocks. I
I
feel like
also
it'd be
think,
fun to control nature, but I think that there's cooler ones out there.
yeah, while I think Wildling's really cool, I think the fact that the realm has basically self-destructed over the years because they haven't managed it well is a deterring factor for me.
Speaking of another realm that hasn't managed well, but we're still intrigued by it, number 2 would be Starling.
Yeah, Maggie and I have a rooting for the underdog realm here and think their powers could be actually really cool. And then coming in at number 1, you gotta pick it. Nightshade's powers are really fucking cool.
Yeah. I hope we get a book where we get to spend some time hanging around Nightshade, so
I feel like we
I'm
will.
sure we will.
And it's gonna be awesome. But yep, that's gonna be it for this episode. We will be back with Night Bane, which is book 2, and
Yep.
see where our girl Isla's going next.
We will see you then.
All right, bye everyone.